And welcome to Champ Week, presented by Principal here in Detroit, Michigan, inside Little Caesars Arena for the Horizon League Women's Basketball Championship game. The #1 seed Green Bay Phoenix back in action as the 3 seed Wright State Raiders come calling. Winner of this game will punch their ticket. Here's a look at how we got here. Pair of comeback semifinal victories yesterday. Wright State over IUPUI, and Green Bay rallied to topple Youngstown State. Well, great to have you with us courtside. Brooke Westbrook, Roy Philpott. 9 tickets, Brooke, have been punched for the dance so far. 1 more this afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Not surprising to see these two teams where they are. I mean, Green Bay, you think about the Horizon League, they have dominated, looking for their 5th straight title today. But Wright State is a confident team. They play good defense, and after their upset win yesterday, they're ready for this game today. Trust me. Well,
you think about the Raiders, you think about some of the best defense in the country. You also think about Chelsea Welch, the Horizon League Player of the Year this season, Brooke.
How about the game yesterday? 17 points, 8 assists, 4 blocks, 5 steals. That's like a LeBron line there. Maya Moore line kind of looking nice. Chelsea Welch was huge. The clutch steals at the end of the game, that's what sealed it for Wright State.
Meanwhile, for Green Bay, you think about defense, 32% field goal percentage defensively this year. They are very tough to score on.
The team, the Green Bay team, the Phoenix, it's a flock of birds, and they're difficult to guard, and on defense, you feel like everybody's coming for blood. They are so well balanced, so well coached, so disciplined, and defensively, they will shut you down.
Comeback win against Youngstown State yesterday. And away we go. Jen Wellnitz, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Horizon League this year, numeral 1 in white. And our opening tap controlled by the Phoenix. Green Bay's won 6 of the last 7 Horizon League tournament championships. The only time it didn't happen was against Wright State in 2014. So these two teams do have a history, especially when it comes to postseason plays. You see the starting 5 for the Raiders. Ogle-Pole, Taylor, Welch, the Horizon League Player of the Year. Wright State coming in with an identical record as the men's team yesterday, 23-9. The 3 seed. First look at Welch, and off the mark from 15. The putback is good by Lexi Smith.
Lexi Smith, an undersized 5'11" senior. This is what she loves to do. She's there for those Welch misses, loves to clean up off the glass.
Green Bay in white, Wright State in black. 1 minute into our first quarter.
Wright State an extended 2-3, very active. A good job by Green Bay to find the open space. Just because you play a zone doesn't mean you got to take the outside shot.
Oh, I like that methodology there. Wellnitz her first basket, tied at 2. Inside, the cutter wasn't looking. It's Mackenzie Taylor. Tried to catch up with that pass, couldn't get there. You think about Green Bay and just so dominant for multiple decades now. The Phoenix this season at 28-3. Brooke, they've defeated 2 ranked teams this year, including Arizona State, Marquette. An impressive resume, even with the loss here today. The Phoenix figure to be a part of the NCAA tournament as an at-large team.
You could talk about Green Bay at the mid-major level. They have been elite. They are the UConn of the mid-majors.
Oh, I like that too.
Right? They've had dominant years, dominant now a decade. And the Phoenix, under the direction of Kevin Borseth, he gets similar kinds of players that are selfless, that share the ball, and that everybody can put up about 10 to 15 points a game. So you don't know how to guard.
LeClaire the basket, 4-2. Phoenix with their first lead. Second team all-conference this year for the senior from Green Bay. Kevin Borseth has his brand, has his philosophy. You go back, you look at rosters from previous years with this program, very similar to this season. Built on defense. He's got a couple of shooters. Stop and pop for Taylor off the mark. Chased down by Simmons. Simone Simmons, a leading rebounder for Wright State. Corner triple off the mark as well.
In a game like today where you've had multiple nights, you've played a bunch, you don't want to open up with a ton of threes. You see how Green Bay is getting into the paint. They're working it slow and steady. Then they're going to probably pull it out, shoot some threes later on. But they're looking to get easy buckets early. Wright State forcing some issues here, taking some long shots.
3 minutes in, a 2-point lead. Shot caroms out of bounds and back to the Phoenix. Kevin Borseth, year number 5, second stint with Green Bay. And you see his 15th year overall. Winning percentage at over 80. That's pretty impressive. I don't care where you are.
He has been a staple at at Green Bay, and even his short stint at Michigan. You know, he had to have learned what it takes to win at the next level and brought that expertise and that education back to Green Bay.
Six to shoot. LeClaire's got to hurry. High ball screen. And the rebound put up and in by Lindstrom.
Now, good second effort from Lindstrom. And Simone Simmons from Wright State defensively stayed step for step. Didn't get any help on the backside to box out.
Green Bay won both regular season meetings, but both contests extremely close. Chelsea Welch, the runner off the glass, 6-4. Yeah, Wright State very competitive in those 2 games in the regular season, Brooke. You got to think that gives them some added confidence in a game like this today. Yeah,
Katrina Merriweather, the coach of Wright State, has her ladies competing, and I think that's the best you can ask for as a coach. Tumble out of bounds. There's Katrina Merriweather in her second season, already 48 wins. Pretty impressive what she's done here so far. And I liked what she had to say to us before the game. She said, you know, normally I'd be very uptight in a game like today. I'd be very nervous, but the vibe that I got from my players was that we're good. I said, okay, I like that kind of confidence.
That sounds good. Wright State made the WNIT last year, hosted a game. Trying to take that next step this season. A win today is required to do it. And an offensive foul. Hard to believe, less than a week away from Selection Monday. That's going to be here before you know it. Let's take a look at the push off.
Yeah, Simmons just enough with her left hand, left forearm to give that shove.
We saw that a good bit last night in the 2 semifinal games.
Yes,
on the men's side here in the Horizon League. It was called a number of occasions. Madison Wolf checking in for the first time goes to work. And that shot sails out of bounds, but last touch by the Raiders. We mentioned this too yesterday. Great facility for this tournament. The Horizon League has done a masterful job this week. A block by Welch, putting the men's and women's tournaments together. Another turnover for Wright State.
Hibner got on the floor, saved that one. Ooh, what a dish!
And inside Lindstrom, her second bucket.
This Green Bay team, if there's one thing they love more than defense, it's assists. There's nothing I love looking at offense to see how it flows, and you can read it. Assists on field goals, the best indicator of how well the ball is moving on offense.
Welch off the bounce, forced one up, draws the contact. And free throws coming up, but the Phoenix hustling here in the early going, Brooke.
Yeah, they do not give up. This is a Green Bay team that is constantly playing defense, looking for you to make a mistake, and they'll capitalize on it with a great finish at the rim from Jessica Lindstrom.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza, and Esurance, auto and home insurance for the modern world.
My favorite meal is whenever I can eat fast so that I can have chocolate.
Motor City Madness continues. Wright State 23-9 this season. Leading scoring offense in the Horizon League. And mention those two losses to the Phoenix. Both of those games competitive in nature. 75-68 in Green Bay, 58-51 at Wright State. And for the Phoenix, well, 28 wins this campaign, and those 2 wins over ranked teams. A very impressive postseason resume.
And I think what you're seeing is a battle of the best offensive team against the best team on defense in Green Bay. They're forcing opponents to shoot just 32%. The Wright State has found some explosive firepower in Chelsea Welch. She's going to have to do a lot for her club today. You know, some of the missed shots she's taken early, some quick shots, at least give her teammates a chance to crash the boards, get some of those offensive looks.
Welch transferred in from Pittsburgh after a strong start to her career. Preseason Horizon League Player of the Year, postseason Player of the Year, leading scorer in the conference. And she has been ultra consistent for the Raiders. Eight to 6 our score, halfway through our first quarter. Lincoln James trying to direct traffic top of the key. Lindstrom's been effective in the early going. Puts it up and in, and a chance for 3 the hard way for Jessica Lindstrom.
Lindstrom going to work inside. She's going to battle Simone Simmons, take her underneath the basket. It's just straight up strength, moving Simmons out of position.
That's her second personal as well. See if Simmons stays on the floor. Jessica Lindstrom, 76% at the line. Impressive performance against Youngstown State. And the largest lead at 5 for Green Bay. Standing defense by James. Floater is good. Mackenzie Taylor, the kind bounce. Well, the rims have softened up compared to what we saw last night.
It was Clunk City and Motor City last night. Oh boy.
44 points won one of those semifinal games as Cleveland State, the 8th seed, advanced to the title game. That one tonight coming up 7 o'clock over on ESPN. And a chance for Wright State to perhaps sweep women's and men's tournaments with a couple of victories. So 3:15 remaining in our first quarter, 6 to shoot for the Phoenix. Lloyd checking in for the first time for the Raiders. LeClaire's got to hurry. Step back triple. And the rebound by Frierson. Held ball. It'll go back to Wright State.
Jessica Lindstrom with 7 points. Getting her hands on that rebound to tie it up. Lindstrom, who broke the program record for double-doubles. 40 for her career. It's just been another addition to this Kevin Borseth team that you get contributions from everybody in every stat. Everybody on the floor is productive. They're not wasting possessions, turning the ball over. They're not fouling. That's what makes them so difficult to play against. And look at the postseason. Nobody wants to play against the Phoenix in the NCAA tournament.
Welch wanted the foul, no whistle, tapped out. And back to Green Bay. Well, for the 33rd consecutive year, ESPN Champ Week continues tonight. Aaron's American Conference Women's Title game, South Florida and UConn. Huskies have never lost in that tilt. No, yeah, they've never lost a conference affair either. 100 wins, no losses under Gino. It's going back to 2013 since the AAC was formed. 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app.
I don't even know how to describe what we heard about and then saw later with Connecticut and Cincinnati. I mean, complete, utter, just dominance for the UConn Huskies. And you can't look at Gino's club and say, hey, you know, maybe you guys should have backed off a little bit. Come on, it's postseason. It's time to go. It's time to get that ring. But I do like the matchup between USF and UConn. I think USF is one of the few teams in the country that has the confidence that they can run with UConn. You know, they've lost a pretty good bit this year, one time by 50 points. A couple three-point shooters heat up for USF. Could be a game.
And for the basket by James, three-pointer on the way in and out for Wright State. Frierson the rebound. Kitty Aloxa has got to go off in that contest. We had her in a game earlier this year. Career high 41 against Ohio State. That was a home game down at the Sun Dome. Different feel with UConn in a neutral court.
Yeah, and if she's not in beast mode, they got no shot.
Offensive foul, back to the Phoenix. James hit the deck hard. So Brianna Lloyd picks up her first and the 4th team foul here in our first quarter.
See on the right side of your screen, yeah, definitely push off. Lloyd is getting frustrated with the progress of her movement. You got to just go around. You want to get easy fouls like that. Give Green Bay a chance to get to the line, extend this lead, get some momentum going in this game. Big ball fake.
Approaching a minute to play in the first. Skip pass LeClaire. Offensive rebound. Hibner off the mark. Frierson with a board. I tell you what, the elbows were flying around down low. Mackenzie Wolf will pick up her first.
And Frierson's got to try to keep that ball above her shoulders and clear some space. See if she can kick it out to Welch, get some transition points going for Wright State. You allow Green Bay to sit back in their defense. It makes it so much more difficult to try to get an open look. You know, they play up the lanes, they deny, read screens well.
Another steal. Wellness, Defensive Player of the Year, coast to coast. And the Phoenix having their way right now with Wright State. A 7-point advantage. 4-second difference between game and shot clock. Green Bay so active defensively.
They're making it difficult for Welch just to get an entry pass.
Vogelpohl off the mark. Shot clock is off. Here comes LeClaire. With the bounce and a chance for 3.
What? That was the most acrobatic shot we've seen of the tournament. ALLIE LECLAIRE, the presence of mind to even get the shot up, let alone put your eyes up on the rim. Look at that, the very last second. Looks up. Man, we might have to nominate this for SC Top 10. You want to give it a vote?
It had some wicked spin.
Wicked.
To carry him off the rim, kiss the glass momentarily, and then bounce through. Nicely done. And the Green Bay lead is 10. What a way to end the first quarter. A 7-0 run for the Phoenix in search of another tournament championship. Brooke, they are well on their way.
Yeah, Green Bay is primed and ready. This is what they do, looking for their 5th straight Horizon League title.
Once they make the basket, they grab the tic-tac-toe team. The first one with 3
Well, back at the Little Caesars Horizon League Basketball Championship, and a look at the ACC tournament. The men's side underway right now over on ESPN2, Georgia Tech and Boston College. And Joey Brackett's in his bracket bunker, currently with 8 ACC teams in the field of 68, and some bubble teams on the brink later today. Syracuse, Notre Dame in particular need a couple of more wins.
I put a lot of faith behind Notre Dame because they've got Bonzi Colson back in the lineup. I don't know, 2 months out, it's going to be a hard adjustment for him to make, but I love the way Mike Brey motivates his guys.
Start of our second quarter, a 10-point advantage for the #1 seed Phoenix. Jessica Lindstrom with a team-high 7 in those first 10 minutes. And ALLIE LECLAIRE with the acrobatic and one moments ago. 9 tickets have been punched already. One more here in the Horizon League this afternoon.
Yeah, how about South Carolina handing Mississippi State their first loss of the season?
Wow. LeClaire feeling it.
Talk about wow. A nice looking shot. LeClaire making one tough shot after the next.
First triple made in this game by either side. LeClaire now with a team high 8. And the advantage grows to 13, largest of the afternoon for the Phoenix. They've come out sharp on both ends. Welch double teamed. 5 on the shot clock. And the rebound by LeClaire, doing a little bit of everything. Inside. Rejected at the last minute. Vogelpohl got in there. And Welch with a chance for 3. So Chelsea Welch sneaks in. And the Horizon League Player of the Year. Another nice bounce. And I tell you, these rims feel softer today compared to what we saw last night.
Maybe somebody came in, greased them up a little bit, broke them in. I mean, I've seen you shoot a few bricks in your time. Maybe you came in late night, shot them up.
Hey, stranger things have happened, right? Always full of surprises. The lead is cut to 10 at 21-11. So Welch now with 7 points. Both of these teams trailed in the early stages of the second half in their semifinal victories. Offensive rebound, Hibner.
That was a big point of emphasis for Katrina Merriweather. Offensive rebounding for Green Bay is what's giving them this huge lead right now. They're keeping possessions alive. Every time they get the ball, they're getting a good look at the basket. Wright State trying to play that matchup 2-3. They're not recovering back when the skip is there, when the drive is there, or when the shot goes up. They're not boxing out.
First look at Carly Murphy, the talented freshman, member of the All-Horizon League freshman squad this year. Over 8 points per game and shooting nearly 60% at the line. That one against Evans, that's her first. Green Bay just has a look about it thus far. Confident, poised, and ready to punch their automatic ticket. Welch will feed the post, down low, contact and a whistle. Welditz picks up her first. Call that a shooting foul. That'll put Smith at the line.
Wellnet's got that defensive player of the year in the Horizon League. Just watching her play help side defense. She's so sneaky. She's just waiting for you to make a mistake, bring the ball down low, not pay attention to where you're passing, not put a whole lot of zip behind the ball. And that's a lot of times what makes a good defensive player. Not what they do when you have the ball, it's when she's not guarding. The person dribbling is where she really has an impact.
2 minutes into our second quarter. An 11-point advantage for the #1 seed. Catch and shoot. Hibner off the mark. Wright State now with an opportunity. Vogelpohl, count it. An aggressive attacking move in the rim.
You have to have that. You can't just rely on Chelsea Welch to pick you up, score all these points. I thought that drive was good. Vogelpohl, one of the few and first transition baskets we've seen from Wright State.
3 ball off target and a foul inside. Go against Wright State's Emily Vogelpohl. So that'll be her second. Kinsey Wolf checking back in, 42 in white.
And the other thing you consider is how deep Green Bay's bench is. They probably go 8-9 deep. Wright State relies pretty heavily on their starters.
LeClaire.
Le three. Once again, ALLIE LECLAIRE going off here in this first half.
11 points to lead all scores. We mentioned the lack of depth. I mean, that's an issue, especially in a championship game. You played the sport. You were the conference player of the year in the Big South. You understand how these ladies think as Smith connects on the layup. At this late hour in this season, it's impactful.
And honestly, a 12 p.m. game is pretty early. You're getting your body up at probably 6, 7 o'clock. You're eating, and your muscles aren't quite ready to be shocked like this. So if you've put in a lot of minutes, and these Wright State ladies, they played late last night, so it's a quick turnaround. If there's nothing really that can get you feeling fresh, your legs back and ready, you're playing this game off of will alone.
If there's a trick to try to wake everybody up for an early tip, make a lot of money trying to sell that to all these coaches and players across the country, across multiple sports, men or women.
18 to 22, there's not enough coffee or 5-hour energy in the world. Not happening.
Or enough Little Caesars pizza.
Now that could work.
Yeah. We're testing that theory out right now with our broadcasting team. Open look for Wolf and Mackenzie Wolf, the redshirt sophomore. 28 to 16. 4 minutes into the second quarter, Green Bay remains out in front. Welch, a nice move, but comes up short.
You know, Green Bay's gotten 10 more shot attempts than Wright State. You know, they're not shooting a great percentage, but because of those offensive rebounds and because of ALLIE LECLAIRE, you know, Green Bay, excuse me, that was Lindstrom on that shot.
31 to 16, a timeout on the floor as we step aside.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, Investments, Retirement, Insurance, and Axe.
And back at the Little Caesars Horizon League Basketball Championship, Green Bay a 15-point advantage as the #1 seed. 4 minutes into our second quarter. Brooke Westbrook, Roy Philpott out of the timeout. Green Bay in control, and Kevin Borsett, year #5 of his second stint, and man, he has had a lot of success coaching the Phoenix over really the course of several decades, building this thing up from the ground up. And tell you what, you got players like ALLIE LECLAIRE, team high 14 so far. 3 3-pointers, Brooke, and 4 boards to go along with it. She's been a force on both ends.
Yeah, the senior has just done a great job of leading this team, and Kevin Borsett was just announced last week. His contract has been extended to 2024. Here in the Horizon League, Green Bay ain't going away.
Bounce pass out of the timeout. Simone Simmons checking back in with those 2 personals off the mark. A foul called against Green Bay. So Wolf picks up her second. That's Mackenzie Wolf, her sister Madison, also a part of this team. And at the line is Tyler Frierson. 65% shooter from the stripe this season. Flips the first one in. Madison Wolf checks out. And Mackenzie rather checks out, and Madison in. One of 2 for Frierson. And here comes LeClaire. I'm running the offense through number 24 and wide if I get a chance.
They're still going to look for her on the skip, but doesn't need to. She's going to cut through and hit another difficult shot.
That was off the glass and so pure through the rim, it barely grazed the net going through.
Made it rain right on the way up.
That's right. She's got 16. There's a thing of beauty last night when Hughes hit that corner triple to really create separation for Wright State on the men's side. Just splashed in. It's beautiful behind the back, and LeClaire, a rare mistake.
Playing too fast there for Wellnitz. It's a nice look, cutting down the lane. That's a good assist from Wellnitz. And LeClaire taking that contact again, keeping her eyes up. Wellnitz pretty hard on herself after that turnover. Hit herself in the chest. Said, hey, that was my bad. You want that. You want somebody who plays with intensity, takes ownership of those mistakes, wants to correct them immediately.
Says the most intense broadcaster I work with.
Oh, yeah? I'll take that honor. Thank you very much. No, I was pretty hard on myself because I demanded not perfection, but close to it. And if there was something that you did make a bad pass on, you know, trying to go behind your back, that's extra. You got to make the simple play, make it easy. Probably would have gotten yanked for a minute or 2 on the bench. A little reminder.
Traveling. Simmons gives it back. Now, Wright State needs to close this second quarter in strong fashion, trailing by 16.
And Chelsea Welch needs to get going. You know, she's had a difficult time today getting easy looks, even an entry pass. She does have 7 points, but 9 field goal attempts. I like the pressure from Wright State. You know, Green Bay not fazed by it, but they do get a 10-second violation. A little life for Wright State to get the ball back.
They're just trying to do anything to change the rhythm of this game as Green Bay has settled in nicely as the 1 seed.
Yeah, you have to think about how can we be disruptive, because the flow of the Phoenix feels very smooth. They're getting shots. You might want to think about going to a man-to-man, seeing how they operate against that. In the zone, they're slicing you up. It's a good catch.
Frierson wanted the foul. Mad she missed the chippy. LeClaire behind the back. The flow of the Phoenix waxing poetic early on a Tuesday. Can sit on that one all afternoon.
Yeah. It works, though. It's true.
Wolf can't connect. And inside, foul against the Phoenix. So Lindstrom picks up her first. Wright State now in a bonus situation. A chance to chip away at this advantage. If you're just tuning in, Green Bay really has led from the onset. There was one tie and a lead change. Since then, all Phoenix. Green Bay won both regular season meetings.
The officials are going to double check to make sure they have the right shooter at the line. Right now, Simone Simmons scheduled to shoot a couple free throws. Take another look at it here. The officials determine who will be our shooter. It looks like the offensive rebound, yeah, did look to me like Simmons had possession and got fouled.
Veteran officiating crew: Tim Daly, Barb Smith, Frank Stator. And Simmons off the mark with her first attempt. Lakin James back in as Wellnitz goes to the Green Bay bench. Wright State got a field goal in the last 3+ minutes. Simmons over at the line.
Notice how much time Green Bay spends dribbling the ball? Almost none. They pass, they move it, and that's what you can really pick up from some of the great teams. You watch them play, you watch UConn play, you watch the Golden State Warriors play. Not a whole lot of time putting the ball on the floor, wasting dribbles.
That speaks to great coaching. It speaks to team chemistry.
Yes.
Players that get it. Welch off the steal. Nice spin move, but comes up short. And a wasted opportunity for the Raiders.
A little too much for Welch there. She had a one-on-one situation going up against LeClaire. You're on the right side. Just stay over there. Try to draw contact. Okay, there's another no-look assist from the Green Bay Phoenix. Wright State's going to have to change their defense. This 2-3 zone is not working.
James located the cutter, then looked away intentionally, and then dropped a nasty dime down low.
Right, that's just to make it extra dirty. Like, I know where I'm going to pass it, and then I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to pass it.
That was beautiful. 35-17. Phoenix out in front. Here's a skip pass. Robson. Was checked in moments ago, well short. Vogelpohl too strong. And back to Green Bay. Good communication there from our veteran officiating crew as all three officials conferred on that last sequence.
Kevin Borseth's got to be feeling good about the way his team started this game. They've had some slow starts in this tournament. But again, defensively, they're as tight as they have been, holding Wright State to just 17 points, keeping Chelsea Welch out of dominating the game for Wright State.
Wright State needs to win to make the big dance this season. Green Bay being at large team, even with a surprising loss this afternoon, but ironically for the Horizon League would almost be better for the conference if Wright State won, because at that point you get two teams in from this league. You share the wealth a little bit more, you make a little more money, and that always works in everyone's favor. Perhaps another story for another day, a foul down low.
Today's story, all about defense. Wellnitz, that's how you get Defensive Player of the Year. And that was help side. That wasn't even guarding her person. Coming over and reading it, timing it. She would be, and I mean this the nicest way possible, so annoying to play against.
No doubt.
I couldn't stand that.
And she probably likes that description, right? If you're the Defensive Player of the Year in any conference, in any level of basketball, and the opposition describes you as annoying, guess what? You're going to be even more annoying the rest of the year as you see Wellnitz, Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year, and just a junior this season.
In my junior year in college, I could not throw the ball in the ocean, and I could not hit a shot, nothing. And my coach and I had a good conversation. He said, just play defense for me this year. If you're out of it, you're in a slump, whatever. And that's what I focused on. And because of that, I learned how much fun it is when you shut people down. It's actually almost better than scoring, because then you become the annoying one.
That was a good story.
You like that one?
I do.
It is true. I couldn't hit a shot to save my life.
Hibner at the stripe, 76% this season. And the Phoenix lead extended to 19. Look at some of the numbers in this contest. Wright State ice cold from the field, just 6 field goals in 26 attempts, and about 23%. So the Phoenix doing a great job ratcheting up that defense, yielding just 32% from the floor this year. Only 23 today.
You know what sticks out to me, Roy, is the fact that Green Bay has 9 offensive rebounds and 14 second chance points. Katrina Merriweather was adamant about rebounding being one of the most important things for her team to do this afternoon to get the win. And they're going to have to change their defense, figure out something to keep the Phoenix off the glass.
Nine tickets have been punched so far. The women's side for the NCAA tournament. One more here today. Welch will shoot 2. Oh, coming up on the Audi halftime report, we'll revisit the epic 2017 women's national semifinal game last year. Mississippi State and Morgan Williams stunning UConn. Plus, we'll take a look at those tickets that have already been punched. All that and much more, the Audi halftime report. This is a great time of year to be a hoops junkie and just watching, listening to some of the sounds of Champ Week thus far. And even last night, Brooke, you and I had a 44-43 game. Cleveland State, as an 8 seed, found a way to keep its season alive. It wasn't necessarily pretty basketball, but yet it still was exciting, right?
Yeah, it was competitive. I mean, you could feel it from the start. Neither team could find the rim. But I think you expect that as Wellnitz gets up, gives up the nice pass. And a good finish by Wolf there. But, you know, it's hard to expect a 90-85 game when you've had 2 or 3 games in a row.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Wright State, nearly 6 minutes since its last basket.
Yeah, Mackenzie Taylor came down hard on her head. Let's hope she's all right. Could hear that. And Jen Wellnitz knew it.
Katrina Merriweather will come over to check on her player. Mackenzie Taylor, the junior from Richmond, Indiana, poured in 17 points in their last meeting with Green Bay. And for all that we've learned about concussions and head injuries, now every precaution being taken in any circumstance where there's a possibility of such an injury.
Yeah, you can see her just trying to get a couple of deep breaths in. And the training staff attending to her right now. And you love the hustle if you're the coach. She and Jen Wellnitz going down together, and you see just kind of loses. Wow, actually, they bumped heads.
Ouch.
Right, and Wellnitz didn't get the worst of it there. She took a shot on the left side of her head.
Well, you're the defensive player of the year. You got a hard head.
Hard-headed.
Unfortunately, Wellnitz appears to be okay, and Taylor walking off the floor under her own power. Replacing her will be Claude Felter, sophomore from Tip City, Ohio.
You can only imagine what that feels like. You're disoriented, probably nauseous, just because of the intensity of the play. You feel that pain. You're trying to get past it and get back in this game. It's going to be huge, but definitely go through the precautions, see if there's anything that indicates a scent of a concussion. Keep her out of the game. Just not worth it.
Under a minute to play in our first half. It's been all Green Bay, the #1 seed, holding true to form thus far. Claude Felter's got to hurry. Try to heave one up there, and a shot clock violation. Phoenix defense has been rock solid. 7 turnovers now for Wright State. And if you're Katrina Merriweather, you go back to the drawing board at halftime. You got to try to find something, Brooke, to shake up the complexion of this contest, as Green Bay really doing whatever it wants.
Yeah, and you see Wright State now looking like they might have gone to a man-to-man, but they're going to stay in their 2-3 zone. To me, that's priority #1. Change up your defense. You got to get on the glass. You got to play with some hustle. I mean, these are all 50-50 balls that they should be getting. Instead, Green Bay is dominating.
Offensive rebounds again in favor of the Phoenix. Welch is able to pick the pocket of LeClaire. And ALLIE fouled her on the way out. So that'll be her second, and that'll put Welch at the stripe. Chelsea Welch, Horizon League Player of the Year, has 9 points in our first half. Has been perfect at the line. And give her 10. Now coming up next Monday, March 12th, the exclusive live announcement of the 64-team NCAA Women's Championship field once again this year, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, with a bonus hour of coverage at 8, starting on ESPNU. Charlie Cream will be back to break down every team and every matchup. NCAA Women's Selection Special, presented by Capital One, also streaming live on the ESPN app. And yes, indeed, it is here as Champ Week has arrived and the tournament will get underway. You and I will be calling first and second round action.
Ooh, but we don't know where yet. I cannot wait. That's one of my favorite parts of the year.
And it's fun.
Yes, I like surprises.
After the free throw by Welch, will trim the lead to 17. Raiders need a stop on this final possession, and they should get it. But it was close.
Oh my gosh.
It was close.
How did Hibbner throw that ball that far? Off balance, running out of bounds. These ladies been hitting the weight room. I don't know what I'm doing. That was impressive. What a great half for Green Bay. 38 points holding Wright State to just 21, dominating the boards. The Phoenix look like they are on their way.
38-21, our halftime score. The Audi halftime report coming up moments from now.
Y'all remember this? The greatest upset of the greatest streak in all of sports. Now we not only hope or believe, we know that anything can happen. What will go down this year? The NCAA Women's Selection Special on ESPN and the ESPN app. Y'all remember this? The greatest upset of the greatest streak in all of sports. Now we not only hope or believe, we know that anything can happen. What will go down this year? The NCAA Women's Selection Special on ESPN and the ESPN app. Y'all remember this? The greatest upset of the greatest streak in all of sports. Now we not only hope or believe, we know that anything can happen. What will go down this year? The NCAA Women's Selection Special on ESPN and the ESPN app. Y'all remember this? The greatest upset of the greatest streak in all of sports. Now we not only hope or believe, we know that anything can happen. What will go down this year? The NCAA Women's Selection Special on ESPN and the ESPN app. The NCAA Women's Selection Special on ESPN and the ESPN app. Y'all remember this? The greatest upset of the greatest streak in all of sports. Now we not only hope or believe, we know that anything can happen. What will go down this year? The NCAA Women's Selection Special on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Now the most wonderful time of the year has arrived, and here in the Horizon League Championship game, 38-21 our halftime score, the number 1 seed Green Bay leading the 3 seed Wright State. 9 tickets have been punched the NCAA tournament thus far. 1 more coming up in this game here right now. As you look, South Carolina, big upset against Mississippi State. We mentioned that briefly in our first half, and we'll see if the Gamecocks can defend their national championship. With Brooke, I'm Roy. Great to have you courtside. And an entertaining first 20 minutes in the books, and Green Bay really dominant, as the score would indicate.
Yeah, defensively, they shut Wright State down. They gave Chelsea Welch all kind of difficult looks for her to make shots. No one else could really contribute. And then offensively, shared the basketball well, a lot of assists, good ball movement against that 2-3 zone, and that's what you expect. You don't know who to guard from the Green Bay Phoenix because everybody can score. ALLIE LECLAIRE with a huge first half.
Yeah, 16 first half points to lead the charge, and inside and out, she really dictated tone in this contest, and the 3 ball was going down early.
Yeah, Green Bay, they move the ball so well. You don't see a lot of dribbling, a lot of wasted space. Good skip pass for ALLIE LECLAIRE. She's got some nice height. And this play to end the first quarter, as Roy likes to describe, as the wicked spinner. But first, she cuts right through the defense with a direct path to the basket. So watch her split the defenders, and then the dirty spinner, the wicked spinner, to get into the and one situation. I'm not from Boston. I don't claim to be. I'll never get that accent
I'm going to be honest, that's the Paul Biancardi influence on yours truly, as he is from Beantown and celebrates Boston, Massachusetts early and often. Here's a look at the women's bracket and how we got here. The number 1 seed Phoenix against a 3 seed Wright State. Some entertaining games yesterday, both on the men's and the women's side, really. But Green Bay, hey, they've won this tournament 6 of the last 7 years. The only time they didn't win it, ironically, came against Wright State back in 2014. It's a dynasty in these parts.
No doubt about it. Kevin Borseth has done such a good job of getting a system in place, then finding those players to play into a system. They all play for each other. It's a deep team. It's a difficult team to guard against and play against.
Well, their defense really is impressive, yielding just 32% from the floor this year as a team, and today just 22% from the field for Wright State. So it's been suffocating all season long with just 3 losses, even more so far in this one.
Not just the steals, they've got 2 blocks, but it's the position, the help side. Just a great team effort. Jen Wellnitz loves to play defense. LeClaire can knock down 3s. So when you've got a team that has bought in, good help side, good communication, that's what you get. Wright State over from the 3-point line. And look at Green Bay with their 11 offensive rebounds and 14 second chance points. You know, to me, that tells a huge story in the game. Obviously 22 points in the paint, coming a lot off those offensive rebounds.
Keep an eye on as well Mackenzie Taylor, who went out, appeared to bang her head. She's on the floor, it looks like, to start our 3rd quarter. But Taylor made 4 3-pointers in the previous meeting between these two. That was back on February 3rd. And Brooks, she shoots over 40% from 3-point range. Good to see her back, but she's got to get going. Just 2 points in the first half. She averages nearly 12 per contest this year. Get the nail on the head from downtown Wright State, 0 for 6. That's got to change to get back in it.
Yeah, you got to have her. She had 11 points against IUPUI, 22 against Cleveland State, hit 6 threes. Yeah, Wright State is desperate for somebody else to score some buckets.
3rd quarter underway and a good start. And Simone Simmons connects her first basket. And it's 38-23. Second chance opportunity for Hibner. Wright State there, ready and waiting defensively. Wright State, the top scoring team in the Horizon League this year. Green Bay, by far and away, the best defensive club. And Wellnitz off the steal. So they call the foul on. I believe it's on Jen.
Me? I don't get called for fouls. Wellnitz scooting up the lane. anticipating well. And as an offensive player, you can't give away where you're going to pass with your eyes all the time, especially against a player like Wellnitz who can read and react so quickly.
Raiders need a couple of baskets, a couple of stops to make this one interesting. And Chelsea Welch, one of the players to do it. Player of the year in the Horizon League, 22 in black.
Off the ball screens, Green Bay is switching. Chelsea Welch unable to get a mismatch. Got a good look inside, but more good team defense for Green Bay.
Lexi Smith with a clear out, no whistle. Stepping out of bounds with possession will give it back to the Raiders. Selection Monday coming up, less than a week. Selection show starts at 7 o'clock Eastern next Monday, March 12th. We know Green Bay is going to be a part of the mix. Can Wright State get there with an upset win and a comeback win here today? LeClaire comes up short. Lindstrom on the offensive glass. And now a third opportunity results in a traveling violation. And Lindstrom, a wry smile back to our veteran officiating crew.
She's like, do you see where my headband ended up? Don't you think there was some contact on this play? More hustle. I mean, Wright State, you got to put a body on. The straight hands up, that's not going to work. Back them down, back them out. Give yourself position, so then that ball can just fall right in front of you. You go get it. All those lunges, all those leg presses at the beginning of the year, that's what they're for.
Right.
That's what they're for.
Wellnitz nearly comes up with a steal. It'll pop out to Simmons. 7 on the shot clock. Simone Simmons off target from downtown. 2 minutes in. Phoenix without a point. Try to change that on this possession. Backdoor cut by Hibner, and the pass isn't there. Nice pass from Vogelpohl, and the triple is good. And Mackenzie Taylor right on cue. Makes it a 12-point game.
Well, Wright State gotten a couple other buckets. Not from Chelsea Welch. Mackenzie Taylor a three. Simone Simmons a jump shot. And the Raiders looking strong coming out of the coming out of the locker room.
Lindstrom double team. The dump off. Simmons the rebound. Welch not looking for a shot here to start our third quarter.
Yeah, you're right. She's been much more of a facilitator here in the third quarter. And Green Bay switching screens. She really should find a mismatch for her, taking right off the dribble. That's a problem. There really isn't a mismatch for Green Bay defensively.
4 on the shot clock. Taylor forced it and turns it over. Nearly 3.5 minutes into the third quarter. Green Bay without a point. Lindstrom wide open. And Wright State will get the basketball back. So Hibner picks up her second personal. And Katrina Merriweather watching her team get back in it. We saw a couple of crazy comebacks yesterday. You just never know. One team dominates early, the other team comes back late.
Yeah, if Mackenzie Taylor could hit a couple more threes, Chelsea Welch gets going. And of course, you got to deal with the defense. Jen Wellnitz now 2 steals and 2 straight possessions.
You know, so annoying in a good way for Green Bay.
You want to go up to her after the game, tell her how annoying she is, see how that goes on?
I'll leave that to you. Wellnitz the rebound on cue. Only 4 points, but 6 dimes dropped, a rebound, couple of physical plays near the rim. And the alley-oop attempt, Wellnitz mad at herself for missing that chippy.
Yeah, you feel that. That was a beautifully drawn up play for Green Bay. Good look. Put right in the perfect spot. Wellnitz unable to convert.
Wright State back to work, trailing by 14. Taylor banged up in the first half. Brilliant bounce pass here. Vogelpohl can't connect. And Carly Murphy finally gives Green Bay possession.
Yeah, she wasn't squared up on that play at all. It was a good look. Again, back to work on baseline. You know, square your body up to give yourself the best chance to finish that play. Something ALLIE LeClaire knows all about. Loves that right side of the floor, the scoop shot. LeClaire once again taking the defender, this time Welch off the dribble. Good hesitation to get Simone Simmons thinking she might pull up for the jump shot. And again, that great angle. We talk a lot about that, Roy, coming off those screens. If you go wide, you're giving the defense all kind of time to get back in front of you. You go tight, right to the rim. There was no defense, no help side that was ready to respond for Wright State.
Now LeClaire, the second leading scorer for Green Bay, but playing like an MVP in this tournament. Vogelpohl gets the roll. She's got 4. I may have just given away my early vote for the all-tournament team. LeClaire. Now Lakin James has that no-look pass down pat. The held possession. It'll stay with the Phoenix.
Jen Wellnitz coming up with the steal. Great anticipation to the rim. Finishes with the assist. That's Green Bay ball.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, Investments, Retirement, Insurance, and Mountain Dew. Do the do.
Just wait and see. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Better make way, 'cause I'm coming through. Are you ready? Are you ready? Better make way, 'cause I'm coming through.
Back here in the heart of Champ Week, the Horizon League Championship game, and what an experience for all of these programs here inside Little Caesars Arena. basically treated like pros, like the Detroit Red Wings or the Pistons, as they make their entrance into these plush locker rooms and the facilities here inside the LCA. It has been a fantastic week.
It is plush inside the Little Caesars Arena. I will give you that. It just feels fresh in here. Had a chance to be in here the day for the very first 2 college basketball games to be played here.
You called the first ones.
Yes, sir.
A doubleheader.
Yep. It was a Detroit-Michigan matchup, followed by Oakland-Michigan State. All kinds of Detroit love that day. So much fun.
Out of the timeout, Mackenzie Wolf off the mark, but fresh 30. The ball caroms out of bounds. Well, this is my first trip really to call any basketball games in Detroit. It's been incredible. Really, it's been a lot of fun. We've had some good games, competitive games, and the Horizon League putting on a first-class tournament. In a facility like this, it's hard not to be constantly amazed. But
what I like too is that the men's and the women's tournament is in the same site.
Sure.
You know, we had that a couple times at the Big South, and then they ended up separating it. And I like that. You give the fan base one place to go to. Same city, everybody can stay in the same hotel, eat at the restaurants, hang out together. And I mean, that's what it's all about. They don't get to see each other at all during the season, so don't give the school a choice, you know, whether or not to support their men's or women's program. Give them both.
It used to be a Green Bay
Classic.
home game, right? Yeah, classic. That's a good way to describe it before they elected to move it here to the Motor City for Motor City Madness. 10 to shoot. And you see Green Bay with 15 titles on the ledger. Very impressive here in the Horizon League. Now Simone Simmons just picked up her 4th personal, number 23 in black. And leading rebounder for Wright State's going to have to take a seat on the bench. And Katrina Merriweather looking down will make that call. Anna Lloyd back in. I don't know what she said, but I don't think I wanted to hear what she said.
Well, everything that we know about what the players have said about getting the criticism from Coach Merriweather is that she is able to really take them to the next level, to push them beyond where they thought was possible. Of course, her playing experience, you look to the staff, you've got some pros, Samika Randall, of course, her incredible career at Tennessee. So you've got the respect as a player to look over and say, okay, you knew what you were doing, and as a coach, I'm going to respect what you have to say. And I think they have that commonality between them, that they can get there.
Inside, a chance for 3. And there's a spark as Lexi Smith connects. Chance to make it a 14-point game with a free throw here as the foul's called on Mackenzie Wolf. Lexi Smith with 7 points, a couple of rebounds. She's a 51% free throw shooter. Well, I bet Dennis Felton's watching this game and he's thinking to himself, I hope these rims are as loose as they are now tonight in the championship game on the men's side, 7 o'clock on ESPN. It was not the case yesterday.
Yeah, no kidding. It was missed shot after missed shot, but again, these guys have put in so much work both throughout the season and in multiple days here. You kind of expect that. Wright State a lot more aggressive on this 2-3 zone than what we saw in the first half.
Trapping pressure, and now Taylor will back him up some. Here's Lindstrom. Important possession. 30 more seconds now for Green Bay. Well, every time Wright State's kind of carved into that lead somewhat, Phoenix have been able to bounce back quickly.
You can hear Katrina Merriweather from the sidelines talking to her players, say, hey, that was your rebound back there. You got to go out and get it. And so she wants to see that hustle. Wright State wants to have any kind of shot. They got to start controlling the rebounds. 18 offensive boards for Green Bay.
It's been an issue all game long. Foul went against Murphy. And that'll put Welch at the stripe where she is perfect. 7 for 7 for the Horizon League Player of the Year. And Brooke, I'm thinking you can get this lead single digits to start the 4th quarter. given the flow of this contest and what we've seen thus far, I think Wright State would take that at this juncture.
Yeah, this has got to be Chelsea Welch's time. We saw her rise up in the fourth quarter, hit some big shots, get some timely steals against IUPUI to get them to this position now. So for the Horizon League Player of the Year, you got a couple minutes here, and you only got the fourth quarter left. So you better give it all. Do what you can just to get to the line, but then you got to convert. She had been perfect until that miss.
Wellnitz back in. James out. And 1 of 2 at the stripe for Welch. Phoenix have been dominant in the regular season, winning 18 consecutive Horizon League titles. Almost as dominant in postseason play as well, 6 of the last 7. Wellnitz turnaround. And the board claimed by Sumter. Nia Sumter, the freshman from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Welch, the dump off. Basket will not count. Chelsea Welch back to the line. So Wellnitz picks up her third. Welch 8 of 9 at the stripe. Brooke, that may be their best offense down the stretch, getting to the line, drawing that contact.
I would agree. Now, had Welch hit that free throw and the one at the line before, we could be looking at a 10-point game. She knocked this one down. So, yes, you can put through all that effort, but unless you're converting, it's not going to help you out a whole lot. But Wright State, their defense, getting a little feistier here in the third quarter. Can they get a key stop here with just over 2 minutes left?
Raiders have outscored the Phoenix 12-7 so far in the third. And within striking distance, under 2 to play. Down low, off the glass, Carly Murphy.
Very simple play, and when Murphy got that ball, she just turned right to the rim and got there. And a bad shot from Wright State. That's not what you want.
Lloyd never quite had her balance. How many times a day have we seen Green Bay weather the storm and come back with a couple of possessions in a row, putting points on the board? Five to shoot. James, a step back. Momentum teetering between these two sides at the end of our third quarter. In and out for Welch and tapped out. Back to Green Bay.
Good shot by Welch. I like the pump fake. She was playing aggressive drive. She was looking for the pass, didn't have it. Instead took the shot. A little more pressure here I like from Wright State. See if you can force a turnover. Get something to hang on to going into the fourth.
It still feels like Wright State in search of an identity in this game. Here's a steal and a chance for 3. And perhaps that's the spark Katrina Merriweather's been searching for.
It's exactly what you need. Katrina Merriweather very happy with that play. So is the bench. They feel the momentum could possibly shift. It's got to start on the defensive end. Good read by the freshman Nia Sumter out of Myrtle Beach.
Her high school teammate Tiana Adderton also a part of this roster. Sumter grew up playing soccer and volleyball, then started to become a standout in hoops. Just a freshman, but a big three-point play there. How big would it be to get a stop here and a basket on the other end before the fourth?
It'd be huge, Roy. So that's what they're looking at right now. Green Bay narrowly avoided a 10-second backcourt violation, but you can't pick up your dribble right by the sideline, and especially not by the half-court line. You're adding 2 extra defenders, making it very easy for Wright State to trap and get the turnover.
47-36. 9 tickets have been punched. 1 more coming up after our fourth quarter here. It's been all Phoenix. Wright State trying to come back. And Welch too strong.
Yeah, it's kind of a forced shot by Welch after that spin move. Didn't expect the defender to be there.
Shot clock is off. No ISO LeClaire. LeClaire probing. And through the painted area draws the foul. Chelsea Welch will pick up her second. And LeClaire at the line. 2 for 2 today. Now with 20 points. Well, it felt like that was an important sequence. Welch missing, and then now on the other end, Green Bay cashing in.
Yeah, we could have been looking at a single-digit game heading into the fourth quarter.
Here comes Welch. Well short. Wright State will slice into that lead, outscoring Green Bay by 4 in the third quarter. We head to the fourth. The Phoenix with a 13-point lead. Welcome back to Champ Week, presented by Principal here in Detroit, Michigan, and the Little Caesars Arena for the Horizon League Women's Basketball Championship. 10 minutes remaining, and Wright State trailing Green Bay by 13. The number 1 seed Phoenix have been impressive through our first 3 quarters. Well, Champ Week continues tonight with the Aaron's American Conference Women's Championship game. USF and UConn, the 2 seed versus the number 1 ranked team in the country, the undefeated Huskies. Never lost in an AAC title game. Undefeated since the inception of the league back in 2013. That's coming up 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 and also the ESPN app. 9 tickets have been punched, 1 more after this fourth quarter. And let's see if Wright State has 1 more comeback in it. With Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Feldbach, great to have you along. Champ Week rolling right along this week. We've seen some upsets on the men's side. Cleveland State will tangle with Wright State tonight. And the Raiders off the mark on this opening possession of our fourth quarter.
I think Wellnitz might have gotten a piece of that ball. Coming in way for the backside, the help.
Can I ask you this one more time, too? We've done this, I think, every game that you and I have called together this year. If there's a team out there built to topple UConn, fast forward to the NCAA tournament as LeClaire throws one up from distance, who would it be?
I think right now, the hottest team with the biggest confidence is Louisville. You got Asia Durr, the player of the year in the ACC, Maisha Hines-Allen, and Jeff Wallace, who is a wizard at coaching defensive changes, sometimes within possessions. He and Gino Auriemma have a lot of respect for each other. Of course, Mississippi State, with their loss to South Carolina, I think they exposed themselves in the post. Tiara McCowan was dominated by Asia Wilson. And Baylor lost Christy Wallace. So I just don't think that they're the same team. To me, I would have said maybe those other three. Notre Dame, if they didn't have 4 ACL injuries. Louisville looks like they have the best shot.
Held possession back to Green Bay. Simone Simmons back in with those 4 fouls.
Green Bay, more defense that time, straight up. Good job by Carly Murphy. But a lot of times, Roy, and you know this, I criticize this all throughout the year of players. They drive too deep into the lane and then they expect to get bailed out with a call. They run right into the defense and just try to shoot it over them and see if they can get a foul called. They'll pull up for a short jumper or go all the way in and drive as if you're going to hit a layup.
Big triple to start our fourth. Hibner connects. Wright State had 1 possession to pull within single digits at the end of the third. Couldn't find the basket. Green Bay connected quickly on the ensuing possession, and you wonder maybe if that's going to be too much to overcome. Lindstrom for 3, back-to-back trays.
And another subtle no-look pass, this time from Jen Wellnitz. Not just good on defense, she can set you up. You know, she may not have a shot at the WNBA. She's just a redshirt junior. She's got another year to play. That young lady could make a lot of money in Europe. A lot of pro teams would love to have her on the roster.
Off the steal, a quick whistle, Mackenzie Taylor.
This is what they do when it gets to clutch time and crunch time. Green Bay comes through. Some big shots from 3. Nice no look from Wellnitz. Another 3 from the corner. So many weapons for the Phoenix. You don't know where to start.
19-point advantage and feeling pretty good about its chances down the stretch. What a job done by Kevin Borseth. Year number 5 in his second stint, another title in his grasp. And his team will be a tough out come tournament time. Vogelpohl had that pass smacked out by Wellnitz, but she's been everywhere tonight.
So active, so good in the help side. She seems to be everywhere at once. You're right. Wright State cannot shake number 1.
Five to shoot. Vogelpohl's got to hurry. Open look. And the rebound claimed by Green Bay, and who else? Jen Wellnitz tonight, 4 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. But making it happen on both ends.
You see what the impact that she's had on this game. And not even offensively, but it feels very much like she has dominated the ball for Green Bay.
Phoenix will milk a little clock, 4 to shoot. Dish down low. And a foul before the shot as Lindstrom was pushed. Yeah, Wellnitz also with 4 steals.
Her first, team's second. Back in the game for Green Bay, number 3, Reggie Works. For Wright State, 22, Chelsea Butler.
Taylor checking out. And perhaps final quarter for Chelsea Welsh to get something going. She's a senior. You got to think Wright State, if it can't come back here, have a chance at the WNIT. The second straight trip. Wellness. Talk to me as well about Green Bay's chances in the NCAA tournament, because you can see them. We've seen a lot of basketball this year, a lot in the Big Ten, a lot in the SEC, and there's some pieces to this program, 2 wins over ranked opposition, that you really like and think that it add up quite nicely in the big dance.
Well, Charlie Cream's got him at a 7 seed, so he's got a lot of respect for the Phoenix as well. I think you look at this team. Hey, how well would they match up with an SEC team, with a Tennessee, or the Pac-12, maybe with an Oregon? I think they are as balanced as anybody in the country to give somebody a good fight. Maybe not UConn, maybe not a team that runs a ton. I think they would struggle with a team that runs a lot of fast breaks, a team that plays very aggressive, and a team that's large. They don't have a lot of size for Green Bay, but their chemistry, I think, might be their strongest asset.
An 8-0 run to start our fourth quarter, halfway through, and halfway home to another tournament championship. Smith down low. Will stop the run momentarily. Yeah, matchup with the Lady Vols, is that the best thing that you would hope for Green Bay? Probably not. A little taller, a little more athletic, but there's a lot of teams where I think you could see Green Bay match up fairly well against, and as a 7 seed, they're going to have a chance, a real opportunity to do some damage.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how they are able to carry this momentum into the postseason. And maybe one of their strongest teams ever here, ranked 2nd in the mid-major polls. 28 wins, 2 wins over top 25 teams this year.
And a number 21 ranking in the latest AP poll. Another dagger from LeClaire. 24 points to lead all scores.
Welch having a tough night, just 2 of 15. Just shows you how much Green Bay's defense has affected the Horizon League Player of the Year. She's got no space to operate today.
Inside the tie-up. It'll stay with Wright State. Too much ALLIE LECLAIRE, too much Jessica Lindstrom. Another double-double for her. And the Phoenix in control here in the fourth.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Little Caesars. Pizza ready when you are. And Volkswagen. Hurry into the Volkswagen Smile It's Spring sales event.
Well, one of the great venues in all of sport, Little Caesars Arena here in Motor City Madness. The transformation taking place in Green Bay, all over Wright State, going for the season sweep. And Kevin Borseth, look at the dominance in the Horizon League tournament. 15 of the last 20 years, going all the way back to 1998. And really tough to beat, going for 4 straight here this afternoon. And
98, that's a long time.
It's a special time, isn't it? Back in 1998, gas just $1.15 a gallon. I can't sing, so I can't even begin to tell you about the next little bracket there. But
I was in the club dancing to that song. I remember that one.
I remember Matthew Perry and Matt LeBlanc and Jennifer Aniston.
Of course you do,
with
of
Friends.
course.
Fantastic. Google was invented back in 1998.
The Google.
In Titanic, the #1 movie, the start of this Green Bay dominance.
Went to go watch that with my teammates. Remember that? Oh, of course.
And the
Mr.
shot
Jordan.
by Michael Jordan over Byron Russell, the 6th championship. And not to be lost in the shuffle, our own Brooke Weisbrod. Yes. What's that? Player of the Year trophy?
That would be Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Yes, my coach Alan LaForce to the left there.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. It was a long season, and shared with you this morning. Right after, actually, I think the next day after we had that event, we had our game. I had a chance to hit a last-second shot. I missed it, and it haunted me the rest of the off season. But you know, it really made me work a lot harder and put me in a place where I felt confident, and I wanted to take the game-ending shot again. It paid off. As a senior, I hit one, so keep working.
Well, here in Detroit, the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup that season. Pistons would go on to win a world championship some 6 years later as they continuing to rebuild at the time. And what a great venue for hoops. My first trip here, and it has been a lot of fun.
Awesome place for the fans to come experience the NBA, and then for the NHL, our producer Josh Littlejohn brought me all the way up to the 5th floor, way high up in the Labatt Blue section. Got a chance to kind of look down from a bird's eye view, which I would assume watching a hockey game would be pretty amazing to watch the puck shift around like that. Did get a little nervous, a little queasy being that high up. Can only imagine after having a few Labatt beers what that would be like for some of these fans.
"20-point advantage for Green Bay. Dish inside, the easy bucket for Hibner. And the Phoenix, if you're just tuning in, really from the onset, dominating this game. Taylor launches. Only one tie, only one lead change in this title affair. It'll stay with Wright State on this possession. But Green Bay won a pair of closely contested matchups with the Raiders in the regular season. It has not been that in this one. Really a credit Kevin Borseth and the job that he's done. A lot of times they tell you the hardest part in getting to the mountaintop is getting there, and then try to stay there can become even more difficult. He's gotten there, he stayed there.
That's right. When you're trying to get up, everybody's trying to get up with you. When you're at the top, everybody's trying to pull you off the top. And it's been a testament of the hard work and consistency that Kevin Borseth has installed in his program, in his team. These young ladies really understand the concept of sharing the basketball, playing team defense, of communication, and a lot of those things that are so difficult for coaches to get across.
LeClaire, and
Good
that
no call.
shot rejected. Yeah, I like the no call there too. ALLIE LECLAIRE with 24 points, 8 rebounds. 2 boards away from a double-double. Lindstrom's already there with 12 and 14. Brooke, you would think too that Wright State would be in a nice position to get another berth into the WNIT like last year. A resume impressive with 23 victories, just 9 losses, 12 and 6 in the Horizon League. And you would hope so for the sake of Chelsea Welch. I'd like to see her in action one more game at least in her senior campaign.
A tough day for Wright State, who just couldn't find much of an answer offensively, and especially when Mackenzie Taylor went out with that head injury. She had bumped heads with Jen Wellnitz. Wright State needed her three-point shot. Vogelpohl, a couple of drives to the basket. There's Taylor right there, looking a lot better than she did in the first half. Was totally flushed and feeling very uncomfortable after knocking heads with Wellnitz.
Strong performance today for Lexi Smith, as she exits the game with 14.
You just do hope after a season like that, the Wright State can continue to play in the postseason, make a run in the WNIT.
Wright State basketball.
93 seconds remaining, in Green Bay on the verge once again. Wright State shooting just 27% from the floor. Basket by Frierson, just a freshman from Long Beach, California. Long ways from home there in Dayton, Ohio. But a nice find in recruiting. 62-44, 1:16 remaining.
To learn more, visit GoTeamImpact.org or search the hashtag HLCares on Twitter.
Phoenix 1:16 away from winning another conference tournament championship here in the Horizon League. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott coming up later today, 6 o'clock. Sports Center over on ESPN with Michael Smith. The franchise tag deadline day in the NFL of all the player reactions and analysis. Plus, he was almost traded to Houston, but Carmelo ends up in OKC and now has transformed his game. Give you more on that. And the latest, the NCAA tournament field. Who's got the best chance to win it all? At Sports Center, 6 o'clock Eastern. Over on ESPN and the ESPN app as Champ Week rolls right along. And a lot of fun here in the Motor City this week.
I didn't think there was going to be enough offense and enough ball to be shared in Oklahoma City for Carmelo to make an impact, but I've been impressed with his selflessness. He's really blended in well to that team.
Yes.
You know, seems so happy about it.
But I mean, Houston or Golden State's coming out of the West. I think we all know that. OKC's a nice sub-story.
San Antonio, you have no love?
Well, Kawhi can't get healthy.
We got some time.
I'm not convinced we're going to see him this season. 30-second timeout. Back to wrap it up for Green Bay after this.
Back to Green Bay 3. Randy Words, 52, Madison Cole. 14, Megan Pinto. And 5, Megan James. Traveling violation, Wright State basketball.
Back in Detroit. Time ticking away. Mass substitutions coming in for Green Bay. Frankie Wirtz making her first appearance, a redshirt sophomore. And also Megan Pingle for the Phoenix. One more possession now for Green Bay, and that's going to do it. For the 7th time in 8 seasons, Green Bay will clinch the automatic bid from the Horizon League. All smiles for Kevin Borsett. Year number 5, another championship, and the Phoenix are going dancing yet again.
Well, it started with defense for Green Bay. You know, offensively, they are so balanced, but today holding Wright State to just 46 points, making life very difficult for the player of the year. And Green Bay's team defense so good. This is just business as usual for the Phoenix, isn't it?
ALLIE LECLAIRE with a game-high 24. Also grabbed 8 rebounds. She receives my vote for Horizon League Tournament MVP after this performance. The defense was suffocating for Green Bay, and Wright State really never challenged outside of a mini run at the end of the 3rd quarter. And we speak about the Phoenix and its dominance over the years, clearly illustrated yet again in this contest today.
Yeah, I'm with you on LeClaire being the most outstanding player of this tournament. What a day she had, hitting some difficult shots, some timely threes. You know, 4 of 10 from behind the free throw line, 36 minutes, 8 boards. Is a full-out effort for Miss LeClaire.
ALLIE LECLAIRE now joins us courtside, a 5'10" senior from Green Bay, and in her incredible career, she will experience a tournament championship every single season. Congratulations to you, ALLIE. What a performance and a big win for you guys today. Walk me through this game and kind of how you got to this dominating performance.
You know, we knew Wright State was going to go on their runs, and Chelsea Welch is a great player, but we just tried to limit her opportunities and play as a team. And every year we know that comes down to little possessions, and so we did that today and got the win.
What is the philosophy that Coach Borseth has behind your offense? Because I notice you guys don't waste a whole lot of time dribbling. It's a lot of team passing, and you guys live off of assists. So what is his motto about that?
Yeah, he always just tries to make a good shot, make it better. We practice that in practice all the time. We can always get a better shot and make sure we get good opportunities, because we're not going to get open shots. Teams are really going to watch us, so just being patient on offense and seeing what we can do.
You mentioned Chelsea Welch, and you guys really suffocated her, it felt like, most of the afternoon. How were you able to do such a great job defensively on the Player of the Year in the Horizon League?
Yeah, you know, we try to push her right, and she goes right and she scores. So, you know, all the kudos to her, but she's a great player. But, again, trying to push her right and stay away from her left hand, but she's such a great player, and she can do a lot on the offensive end.
There was a play that you had over here on the right side. I believe it was in the 1st quarter. You split 2 Wright State defenders. We have no idea how you looked at the rim, how you threw that. Yeah, take us through that play. What happened?
I just remember getting nailed a little bit, and I knew that I had to get it up in the air, so I just threw it up there. And as I was on the ground, I saw it going in, and yeah, what a shot. Lucky shot, but I'm glad it went in.
That was awesome. Roy said it was a wicked spinner.
Yeah, wicked spinner. That's exactly what it was. Very impressive. Take me now to the NCAA tournament and what it's going to take for you guys to get a win or two, because clearly the talent is there.
Yeah, you know, every year we say we want to win a game and we don't. So, you know, this team, this is a special team that we have, so we're excited, and it takes all of us. And I think that's one thing about our team. You can't just concentrate on 1 or 2 or 3 players, because someone else is going to step up every single game. So just playing together, and, you know, hopefully we can make a run.
Well, it was very impressive. Congratulations on the win. You got my vote for MVP, by the way.
I concur. Yeah, good job.
Great job for ALLIE and also for Green Bay. We step aside, back to wrap it up after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Horizon League would like to thank all of you for your attendance and support of our student athletes. Give yourselves a big round of applause for being here this afternoon. We also want to recognize the tremendous staff at 313 Presents for its tireless efforts in helping to present an outstanding 2018 Little Caesars Horizon League Women's Basketball Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Horizon League Commissioner John LaCroix, Franchise Marketing Manager for Little Caesars Enterprises, Jacob Norris, and the 2018 Little Caesars Horizon League Women's Basketball Champions, the Green Bay Phoenix. Commissioner LaCroix.
Eric, thank you. If you would join me in just taking a moment and congratulating the Wright State University Raiders on a great season.
Now the championship trophy being presented back at the Horizon League title game in Green Bay. Victorious over Wright State, the #1 seed, holding true to form, and great time all week long celebrating this wonderful conference. And Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott, the team being celebrated as we speak. And impressive were the Phoenix in another championship. 7 out of 8 conference tournament titles they've won.
I think ALLIE LECLAIRE said it well. She said, you can't just prepare for one player on this team. You have to deal with all of us. And we understand that a good shot can be a great shot. So they're going to play patiently on offense. They're going to get the look they want. You know, they're so solid on the defensive end. This is what makes a champion-type team. You know, they get all those little things, the hustle, the teamwork. And heading into the NCAA tournament, yet again, the Green Bay Phoenix going to be a problem to deal with. Some high seeds not going to want to deal with them.
Yeah, I agree. Charlie Cream right now projecting the Phoenix as a 7 seed. We will see if that changes after this conference title yet again for Green Bay. Well, don't forget, Champ Week presented by Principal continues on ESPNU. Coming up next, my man Clay Matvick will have the call. The Summit League Women's Basketball Championship, South Dakota versus South Dakota State. For Brooke Weisbrod and our entire crew, I'm Roy Philpott saying so long from Detroit, Michigan.